All right, we're live. No, I even got the notification we're live. All right.
Excellent. Cool. So, Josh, you want to give us a little background on where we are?
All right, so we're at 1330 Commonwealth Avenue in Allston, just down the street from Packard's Corner, at our beautiful one bed, one bath. Location couldn't be any better. We have the T literally directly outside. Let me just swap my camera around so you guys can take a look. All right, here we are. So you've got Grigg Street T-stop literally right outside here. Another awesome part about this property is it's one of the few strips right on Commonwealth that has unlimited non-resident parking directly in front of the building.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You don't often see that in Boston.
No, if you go one block down, it's all resident, almost indefinitely up the street as you head towards BC. So right here, we're in the living area. As you can tell, this unit is not short of windows. You've got 5 massive windows here in the living space, pretty much covering the surface of 2 entire walls. You've got excellent track lighting here, nicely refinished floors.
I love how the trees outside really make you feel like you're in a tree fort.
Yeah, I mean, having some greenery directly outside your window is never a bad thing, especially on some warmer days when you get all these windows. It provides some nice shade in here as well.
Definitely.
So you've got this nice little breakfast nook here in the galley style kitchen, fully renovated, stainless steel appliances, gas cooking. You've got a nice opening here, which provides you a nice open concept, which you rarely find with a galley kitchen.
Same with having an actual window in the kitchen, which is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a window in the kitchen, which is also a huge bonus. So you've got a common area coat closet here. And a little bit about the neighborhood. Aside from public transportation, this property has a 95 walk score, which is absolutely excellent. Pretty much every errand can be done within walking distance here. You've got Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Star Market, all within very close proximity. You've got Starbucks directly down one block. In terms of parks, you've got Ringer Park, just a short walk away, as well as Coolidge Park and Brookline. That's another thing I love about this location is you're pretty close to the Brookline border as well. Looks like we got the train coming through here.
And taking the train, you're about 10 to 15 minutes right into Boston, which is super convenient.
Yep, so the green line outside is the B line, which goes up Commonwealth through BU directly into Kenmore Square. Alternatively, there are tons of bus routes directly in the neighborhood too, bringing you to Cambridge and Brookline and surrounding areas.
Yeah, Allston has really become, a food mecca in Boston, which has been nice to kind of see that evolve. I remember living there back in college for a handful of years, and it just kind of continually developed into really a diverse neighborhood. You can find food from just about every ethnicity in the area within, I mean, a 5 to 10 minute max walk from this apartment, which is really nice. A lot of great restaurants, some bars once those open back up.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you're just a short walk from Harvard Ave, which, if anybody is familiar with Harvard Ave, it's just loaded with commercial space. A lot of niche coffee shops, restaurants, clothing stores, etc. And like I mentioned, you've got endless amounts of grocery options: Trader Joe's in Brookline, Star Market just down the street, as well as Whole Foods. So another awesome part about this property is the condo fee includes heat and hot water, which is a rare find for a $320 condo fee.
Josh, you want to go into a little bit about the building itself?
Yep, so the building itself has 35 units total. It's a professionally managed building by Albert Corporation. So you've got professional management included in the condo fee, also at $320, which is with heat and hot water. That's an amazing deal. I'll head into the common areas shortly, but you'll notice everything is extremely tidy. It looks like it was actually just vacuumed relatively recently.
Yeah, they do a really great job with this building. The building itself is it's about circa 1920s. It's one of the large kind of brick buildings that you see, which is pretty common for this Comm Ave stretch, as well as kind of in the neighboring Brookline side. Really pretty buildings that have been a staple of the neighborhoods for 100+ years.
For sure, for sure.
And not all the units are renovated or have been renovated, but this one's been nicely updated. That wall, the breakfast nook there, originally was a closed off wall, but opening it up really created a nice sense of space and allows a ton of light to come in from the living room, but still have a separate kitchen that isn't spilling into the living room like a lot of open concept properties.
Exactly. Yeah, and they did a great job with the renovation, granite countertops, which are beautiful and a rare find, especially in Allston. The stainless steel appliances.
And it's a relatively compact apartment at 477 square feet, but you do have full-size appliances, which is very nice. Oftentimes, kind of in this size and price point, you may end up getting kind of a miniature half stove or a smaller fridge. But having gas is awesome too.
Yeah, as you can see, everything's full size, and you've got plenty of counter space with this added granite stone here on the left-hand side. Nicely done backsplash as well. They also added track lighting in the kitchen and in the living space. Yeah, the clouds are over us right now, and you guys can tell how much light is raining in this place at the moment. It's beautiful.
And you're on an upper level, which is really nice too. So you're not directly on the street side, even though it is a raised first floor for the building.
Yep, raised first floor. This unit is located on the third floor, perched on the corner, which is excellent. So you've got a lot of privacy and a lot of extra exposure to sunlight. Andrew, I wonder how many people are watching this from the beach right now. It's 84 degrees.
Hopefully a few. Just want to thank you guys for joining us. It's Andrew here, hiding behind the scenes, helping narrate.
And here I am.
Yeah, so the property has nice hardwood floors throughout, hardwood cabinets. Some of the original trim is throughout the whole property. Pretty classic of what you'll find for this style of home in this area. And this is original to the property, 1920s, give or take a few years. But it adds nice, nice detail, nice character. A lot of new properties that you come into these days, they're going to have, just square board trim, particle board. This is all solid wood. Josh, if you want to go and give a little bit of a look on the detail on the trim, it's nice that you have
Yep.
Sure.
So you've got the trim on the windows here. And it's very, very well maintained too. Obviously, you rarely see this in newer construction, but moldings and the trim are this well maintained are a rare find.
So this unit doesn't have central AC. However, it's relatively small, and the owners have found that 2 small units are more than sufficient to cool the property during the summer.
Correct. I mean, with all these windows and being on the corner, you oftentimes get a really nice breeze coming in through the living space. The current occupants don't even have a air conditioner currently in the living room because of that reason. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll take everybody downstairs out so you guys can see directly out in front of the building in the exterior. And then for anybody who's hopping on around 12:15, I'll be coming back up into the unit. And guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot it in the chat. We've got Andrew monitoring it. So any questions that are outstanding, feel free to reach out. All right, let me head downstairs.
Cool. For those of you that are just joining us, the property is on the 3rd floor. The building itself has 35 units total. Professionally managed, very well maintained. This is a classic example of the style of property that you'll find in this area in a medium, mid-rise, low-rise building. Anywhere from 30 to 40 units is typically what you'll find.
Yep. Yeah, and it's nice, and that's another big reason why having a professionally managed building with heat and hot water included at $320 a month is such a good catch.
Yeah, that's really nice. You'll typically end up spending 100, 125 at least just on heat alone.
Correct. All right, let me head outside. And as you can tell, packages make their way inside, which is excellent. You've got an intercom system here as well. And just in time to catch the train. I think I'm running 5 minutes late to my next class, so let me run over and catch that.
True.
All right, so here we are on beautiful Commonwealth Ave here. A lot of people enjoying the weather right now. Here's the exterior of the building. And this is there on the 3rd floor is where the unit is located.
So Josh, one thing that I love personally about this location, if you want to face towards the street, is while you are on Comm Ave, which is right where the train is, you do have these side streets that are directly in front where the parking is. And that is a really nice buffer for your kind of spacing. So you walk out and you're not walking out onto a busy street. The car passing right now is basically the speed at which any cars immediately there are passing. Some other locations where you're actually on the main road, you'll have cars zooming by and adds a little bit more noise. But this also offers kind of that buffer where you have essentially 3 or 4 strips of green where you have trees. Really does add a nice touch. And even though you are in the city, still has kind of that earthy feel, which is great.
For sure, yeah. Being set back off the street is awesome. Um, provide you a little bit of space from the main road, and then as I turn right here, I'll walk a little bit down the street just really quick. We're just one block over from Starbucks here, literally right down there, and then just a couple blocks down, you're right at Harvard Ave with all the shops that you need. And you can tell from the exterior landscaping, the management company stays on top of everything for you. All right, guys, I'm gonna head back in. Just grab the keys here. Bear with us, everyone. We're heading back up to the unit now. As you can tell, spotless interior in the common areas. Got your mailboxes here, directly on your way up to the stairs. You're just a short 2 flights up. So as we had mentioned in the listing, this home is currently rented through August 31st at $2,300 a month, which for an investor or even owner occupant who might be moving down the road, it's an excellent return on investment. Provide you some nice cash flow. All right, everyone, we're back inside the unit now. Sun's peeking out even more. We've got the beautiful tree right outside. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. Andrew's monitoring that so we can answer those as they come in.
Yep. So just seeing a question here. In terms of the windows, good for blocking the noise from the T. You do have a lot of windows, so that's a good question. They do a great job. You also have nice coverage, which I think a lot of people underestimate in terms of the trees. If you didn't have this multiple layers of trees, you'll get a little bit more noise. So in the wintertime, obviously, a little bit more comes in, but the windows do a nice job. If you have them all open, obviously, you're going to have some more street noise comes in, but it is city living. The T does come frequently, but it doesn't run kind of all throughout the night, as we know. Generally stops last run about 12 p.m. or so.
Yep. Here it comes now, actually. Both of them going both directions. So the B line goes to both. You can either take it outbound to BC or into Kenmore Square through Commonwealth Ave and BU. So this location is really ideal for any student at BU, BC. Also, anybody working in the Longwood medical area, Harvard, Cambridge. You're just a quick hop over the river.
For those of you guys who are just joining us, we are on the 3rd floor. Josh is in the living room right now. Feels a little bit like a tree fort with all the trees right outside of the windows. And being on the corner just offers you this really cool vantage that you don't normally have. Another kind of response to, in terms of the T noise, your bedroom is on the inside of the building, so you are protected in a much greater way than if you had the bedroom directly on the outside, which many of the properties in the building do have.
Correct, and the windows are relatively recently updated as well, so you're not getting the wood framed or should I say the wooden windows that you typically see in an older property of this kind. So even the windows have been updated as well. Nice open concept with the kitchen living. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you rarely find that with a galley style kitchen. For those of you who don't know what a galley style kitchen is, it's kind of a narrow, straight lined kitchen. The term kind of is referred to the kitchens that were used on fishing boats previously.
Yeah, and having that opening is really nice. Josh, if you want to step in there and kind of just
Yep.
show the light that you have in there, it's a really nice separation of space. If for any reason you did want to temporarily close it off, what we've seen done is people will put a shade right in that window area, essentially. And so if somebody's watching TV and somebody's cooking and you don't want to hear as much noise or kind of want to shut it off a little bit, you can just have a shade that pulls right down. So it's a really easy, simple fix. You can apply that to a lot of properties as well to kind of section off different areas.
Correct.
But having that cut out is really nice because you can have more open concept, but again, you're not spilling into the living room or vice versa, the living room into the kitchen.
Another rare find about this property is in buildings this old, you don't typically see as efficient of a layout for a one bedroom. You've got nice separation here. We're in the living room now. You've got the bedroom all the way at the end of the hall. So even if you have guests staying over or your partner's staying up late watching TV, you'll be nice and quiet in that bedroom.
Yeah, that is really nice. You often do have the bedrooms and the living room right next to each other.
Yeah.
That being said, the building itself was built in 1920, and the adage of they don't build them like they used to is pretty true. The sound insulation, the materials generally is thicker, heavier, so you do have a great insulation in the property itself.
Yep.
Again, heat, hot water is included in the condo fee, and the condo fee is $320 a month.
Yep.
The taxes for the property are just over $3,200 a month per year, and that does not include the residential exemption of about $2,700. So if you purchase this property and live in it yourself, you can reduce your tax basis, your tax liability from $3,200 by $2,700. So you're only paying about $500, give or take, a year in taxes, which is very compelling. That with the low condo fee, including heat and hot water, makes for a nice tidy package.
For sure. I mean, having taxes that low is just kind of the cherry on top for this unit.
Definitely. It is relatively compact at 477 square feet. However, for a one bed that has a fully applianced kitchen, it really doesn't feel quite that size because of the windows. The windows really just allow a lot of the air and energy to kind of flow around, and it's good ceiling height as well.
Yeah, and again, touching upon the layout as well, the layout is one of the more efficient I've seen for 477 square feet.
Allston itself, again, is a hot neighborhood. You have such a great selection of food, restaurants, night bars and restaurants once obviously those open up again.
Yeah.
Probably 3 or so of my favorite restaurants in all of Boston are in Allston. A Korean taco place, which has just some amazing Korean fusion tacos, as well as Carlos Cucina Italiana is, in my opinion, one of the top kind of home style Italian restaurants, and that's just maybe a 5 to 7 minute walk from here.
Yep. Andrew, did you just leave out garlic and lemons?
So that was the other third. Garlic and lemons is an awesome Mediterranean wrap. They moved in probably about 6 or 7 years ago when I was living in the neighborhood, and that became a staple of my diet. So Josh, if you take a look to your right, just about a block down, guys, is the Harvard Street, which will have a bus that runs directly into Harvard and Harvard Ave. And you can also take it all the way down to Brookline Village and beyond. So in terms of accessibility to the city, this location really does provide a great opportunity to be a part of the city, but not necessarily pay what you would be paying if you were like in Back Bay or some of those neighborhoods. So you do get some good economies living here, and you are just 5 to 20 minutes to just about anywhere in the city.
Yeah, in terms of access, it's a really ideal launch off point to get to many locations. Again, kind of going over the primary ease of access, you've got Harvard, quick hop over to Cambridge, just going over the river. You've got quick accessibility to Brookline, excellent for Longwood Medical Center residents. Additionally, BU and BC are all quickly accessible directly via the train, as you can see it right outside now.
Yeah, so from an investor perspective, this property provides you access to one of the most desirable rental markets, probably in the country, because you are so easily accessible to, dozens of schools in the area. And in terms of the price point, from a buyer's perspective, if you're living there, the condo fee, including heat and hot water, very low taxes for the property, the tax basis, as well as just overall the building being professionally managed, extremely well maintained. Every time we've been in it, the hallways have been very clean. The paint's been kept up. The building itself does have shared laundry in the basement.
Yeah, it does.
One aspect that this property doesn't have in unit, but it does have it available in the building. And across the street is also a laundromat if you want to have some bulk items like bedding and whatnot, or get everything done all at once.
Correct. So guys, we're coming to an end here. We got just a couple minutes left. So if there's any part of the property you'd like me to readdress while we're live on the air here, we're happy to do so. Also, feel free to ask any questions while we're here. If you don't get the opportunity to ask a question now, feel free to reach out to us directly. Andrew will provide our number in the comments as well as our emails.
Yep. And while we are doing this kind of virtual open house to respect social distancing, we are doing private showings for the property. So if anybody is interested in taking a look in person, we'd love to schedule a time to get you in and take a look. We did just come to market this week. We've had some great activity on the property. Really think that this does offer a kind of a compelling package in terms of size, price point, and location and amenities of the neighborhood.
For sure. And I'm going to head back outside just for anybody who did not catch the exterior last time and the common areas. Again, professionally managed and extremely tidy.
Yeah, it's a very pretty building, built in the 1920s. Classic example of the style of buildings that were built and really have stood the test of time. Construction, super solid, not a lot of noise translation between floors like you get in some of the newer buildings, unfortunately, especially some of the newer buildings.
Yeah.
This marble lining on either side of the lobby is archetype of these buildings. So you'll see them a lot in the Allston, Brighton, and parts of Brookline area, which is a cool detail. So you can almost immediately recognize that the building was built about 1920s, give or take, during that time. because of that.
For sure. And just readdressing packages make it inside as you see. You've also got an intercom system here right before I head out. All right. Now we're outside right on Commonwealth, but nicely set back. As we discussed earlier, you have this side lane that Commonwealth has for quite a few miles that separates you from the actual main road, which is excellent. And for anybody who didn't catch it earlier either, this whole strip right in front of me is unlimited parking access, non-resident. All the surrounding blocks are resident permit, but this one happens to have unlimited, which is a great bonus. And as I head right over here, you've got Harvard Ave just right a block down, and then also Starbucks right here, laundromat right next to Starbucks as well. Just about everything you need.
Studies have showed that if you purchase within a half mile of, or rather properties and home values within a half mile of Starbucks, do better than properties who are not within a half mile. Whether that's a testament to Starbucks strategically locating their places or just neighborhoods that are built around those locations.
For sure, yeah. All I can say is I don't like walking more than 2 minutes for my coffee, so.
Facts.
All right, guys. We're just wrapping up here, guys. Like we had mentioned, 1330 Commonwealth. If you guys have any additional questions, try to drop one in the comments now. If not, Andrew will leave our email address there along with our phone numbers. You guys can reach out directly. If you would like an in-person tour, we're happy to do so as well. Just give us advance notice so we can respect the social distancing policies currently in place. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care.